This is the Body Wise Podcast. Thank you for joining Laura and Cristina for another intimate exploration of collective wisdom.
Okay, so Brianna, tell us about your health journey and story.
Yeah, so I think for me, I grew up kind of, I guess, overweight. I didn't actually wouldn't consider myself. I just, it was just who I was. I didn't follow any nutrition plan, kind of all that, but I started sports. And when I started sports, I think that's when I started to consider nutrition a little bit more and, follow the food pyramid, which is what all the guidelines are now, but was definitely back then. And I lost a lot of weight. And so I got a lot of affirmation. I was doing 3 sports, so obviously you're going to lose some weight. But I think the affirmation really is what stuck with my mind because I was something like 14, 15, so I started to equate when I look a certain way and smaller, I get noticed or I get all these nice, kind words. So then a huge hurricane hit the Cayman Islands where I'm from, and we actually had to move away for about a month, and then we eventually came back. But things were just different. It took a while to get back into the swing of things. I was staying with my grandparents, and I just actually at that moment wanted to find something to control. And so for me, what I can control was how much I ate and how much I exercised. So I became extreme. I became definitely, for my body structure, way too small, not eating enough. I tell people the amount of calories I probably ate, and they're like, whoa, that's for like a 10-year-old. I'm like, I know, probably even less than that, probably a baby. And I just wasn't eating a lot. And then, just different people were concerned. I'm really grateful for people in my life. And slowly I started to see a nutritionist, gained back some weight, but I never dealt with the mental part of it. Even though my nutritionist at the time was like, you should speak to a child counselor. I'm like, I'm fine, just gain some weight. Everybody will be happy. But what happened is that fast forward to the end of high school where I was kind of up to be valedictorian and everyone's just like, you got to keep going. You're doing so great. And the stress became way too much for me that I went to food for comfort. So I went on the opposite end and I became an overeater, emotional eater, which that brings so much shame. Like from going one extreme to the other, you were like so controlled and then now you feel out of control. And so from that point on, I think that's when the diet game really came into play. I just tried this diet and this diet and this diet. And, I think I grew up with my mom and her friends reading Women's World and all these different diet things. So that was just a part of our culture. And I just was in that cycle for a long, long time until finally a couple months after we got married, we moved back to the Cayman Islands and I just was like, I really need to do this. For me, it was definitely a spiritual journey, but do this for me and not do this with any set agenda, but really take care of myself. So through slow changes, and I mean, it was slow. It took me like a year, or more than a year to lose 30 pounds, maybe a year and a half. But I wasn't necessarily trying to lose it. It was just like, I actually just enjoy going walking. I enjoy cooking healthy foods. And from there, I created these healthy habits that really led to sustainable weight loss. So that's what I try to really support women now in, is like, what can we do to really change our habits, change our life so we can sustain the health results that we long for.
Awesome. I was like, after you like created these habits for yourself that you then became a health coach, where you like, okay, I want to help other people do this. So how did you go about that? Because I get those messages all the time. Like, yeah, I changed my life. I want to help other people. Where do I start? So how did you make that plunge?
Yeah, I think a lot of friends ask me, along the way, because they notice and they're like, are you going to do anything? I was like, you know what? I really do think this is like just for me. But there came a point, I did the Whole30 elimination diet, and that was really transformative. By that time, I had lost a lot of the weight, all of it. But for me, that really changed my relationship with food. I started to see that I could eat whole, natural foods and make all these cool recipes, all these cool alternatives, and not feel deprived. And that was just something I'm like, every woman needs to know, because most people, when they think of a diet or healthy eating, they're like salad or like, they're like no fun. I ask my dad, sometimes he's like, so basically anything that tastes good, I can't eat. And I'm like, no, Daddy, that's not true. Poor dad, I call him out so much, but that's the mindset we all have. So doing that program really, and it just transformed my view towards food. It really helped me to see how certain foods impacted my gut and impacted me. And from there, that is when I was like, okay, I need to somehow help others. And I just started a blog, it was horrible. Like I look back from the blog now, I'm like, the colors were out of whack. Like, it just was whatever. I wasn't writing well, but my friends followed it, so that was great. But then after that, I was like, oh no, I think I want to do something more than just blogging or sharing a cute recipe, which is still great. I mean, I think I follow all kind of bloggers, and you know, you're a recipe person too. But I think for me, I wanted to talk with people. Like, we both have all these stories. Like, I just want to talk face to face. I loved coaching naturally. So I just Googled health coaching. I don't think it actually was a big of a thing at the time. But so I found the Institute for Integrative Nutrition online. And I was an accountant at the time. So I was in public accounting. So I worked long hours. So I was just like, you know what? There's no way I can go anywhere to school. And so I could just do it all online. And the minute I started, I knew I was like, this is what I'm supposed to do. Like, it's just like, this is just like home. And I started seeing a client, which was a friend, but I just was like, wow, I like come alive when I talk to you and, you know, just help you through this. So from there, it just built upon each other. And I just try to tell people, like, don't just get started. Like, again, my blog was horrible. I mean, it's not even that great right now. I just started seeing clients. And then from there, I started a group program and like, oh, did that work for me? Or then, you know, it's been 4 or 5 years and I think I finally settled on what works for the women that I'm meant to serve. But again, it was just me getting started. And especially with the online world the way it is now, there's so many avenues. You could do a podcast, you could do a blog, you could do courses, you know, so there's no limit to how you can serve people in this arena. It's just starting and seeing if that's the one that fits you.
100%. I mean, I went with the Nutritional Therapy Association when I got certified, because I did the blog. I mean, I still blog and write recipes because I was a chef, but I wanted more. I wanted to help people with that nutrition side. But but I do agree. I get people are like, I think the different avenues is overwhelming for people.
Totally.
Because then they're like, and I also tell people the same way that there's no one size fits all with nutrition, there's no one size fits all with business. Mm-hmm. And I always say, like, if you have to find a way that you connect that makes you light up, like you like the one-on-one, right. You know, or is it speaking, or is it group coaching, or is it podcast, or is it video content? Like, people are like, why don't you do more videos? I'm like, I hate cooking on camera. It takes all the fun out of it.
It's a lot of work.
So much work, unless you have like a production crew, which I don't. So yeah, find out. I always say, like, pick something you can do every day. Yeah. And that's what you do. That's the way you serve people. So,
right. Yeah. So now I realize I love learning and I love creating videos and content and like courses, because that's what I naturally, you know, go
you have a ton of courses.
Yeah. So what I've done is like create now. There's like, I do one-on-one, but I also do a membership. Little girl. I also do a membership, and it's like, I love that. It lights me up, and it allows more people to, you know, engage in a small, more affordable way. And I get to like go on video and talk about this, or I get to like create a course. And so, yeah, I definitely think just start with one, and if you don't like it, nix it, go do something else.
Right. I love that. Yeah. And I think the small group, the subscription model, I honestly didn't even know about it until that recently. My sister, Laura, who you connected with, is how she was thinking of going that route, and I was looking into it, and I was like, I love that. I think you're right. I love that you get this very tight-knit group. I listened to a podcast about subscription groups, and what they were saying was, instead of always being on trying to bring in new people, you get to nurture the ones that you have.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
It's a very nurturing model. I love that. So you mentioned Whole30. I see also on your website you do 21-day sugar detox, paleo. What made you go this kind of like, because all of those are very like ancestral health, you know?
Right.
What made you go kind of that way versus like plant-based or, you know, high carb, low fat, or whatever else is out there?
Right. Yeah. I joined a CrossFit community back home about a year after I really started on my journey, back when I was serious about it. And I did I think within a week of me starting, they were doing their, you know, maybe they do it 3 times a year, paleo challenge at the time. And I was like, oh, I might as well try this, you know? And I, again, loved it. This was before I did the Whole30, just again, eating these whole natural foods. I think I won that. I mean, I literally just started CrossFit. I won that challenge because it was such a huge stress. And I mean, at that point I had lost a lot of weight, and I lost 4 more pounds and lost more inches, improved like 3 minutes in my workout. And I think for me, it was like, okay, how I ate, and obviously just starting the CrossFit that really helped too, but how I ate really does play into factor to, my results. And I actually just really enjoyed it. I didn't have any gas. I used to be a big burper and always have gas and all this stuff. And I realized I didn't have that at all, like one day. And so when I started incorporating, milk and gluten back in, I'm like, oh, those are the culprits for me. I'm sensitive in the sense I'll react, but I'm not like celiac or Crohn's. And so now I know, which I wouldn't have known before. So then from there, like paleo was the foundation. And then I tried the 21 sugar detox. And then I tried, Whole30 and all that sort of, and I kind of landed on Whole30. Paleo is kind of how we eat on a normal basis. But yeah, so that's kind of how it got started. That's a huge starter for most people when they do CrossFit. Then they kind of hone in and do macros, but it's usually with the paleo diet.
Right. Whole30 I was familiar with paleo from 2008 from this doctor I was in Miami, but it was kind of like where I always go back to because it's when I felt my best. But Whole30, my first Whole30, I've done 6 in my I haven't in a while.
Too.
Yeah, but for 3 years I did 2 a year, and I would say it was a catalyst for me in terms of really that in tuning into food and how my body reacts to food. And I had to go all the way autoimmune paleo because I react to nightshades and I have chronic issues. But if it wasn't for a Whole30, I don't know if I would have figured all that out.
And it's even now, they have developed in the last 10 years. It's you can go on their website and buy, you don't really need to, there's just so many resources, right? And so I just encourage people, just go try it. Obviously, there's tons of Whole30 certified coaches now, so you can reach out to one of them. And so definitely something to try. I have a free Whole30 e-course too that I put together that you could just
on your website. We'll link it. Yeah, I'll be on. Yeah, we're gonna link all your resources, so go check it out. Yeah, I think the amount of resources and I think that's one of the best things about Whole30 is that even on my website, I have hundreds of free Whole30 websites because they're just compliant. It's just if you eat in a certain way, they coined a really clean paleo, but it's brilliant really because there's just endless resources. So you don't have to buy the Whole30 approved stuff or buy the cookbooks. Anyone can do a Whole30 without spending $1 on any Whole30 brand named anything.
Exactly.
But the beauty, and so there's a beauty in that, which I think it's it's such a big community, which is very cool.
Right. No, it's great.
Very cool. So let's talk stress a little bit. You bring it up quite a bit, in your content, and why managing stress is important. So can you explain that to us? Because I feel like that's every time I talk to anyone, and I include myself in these conversations.
Yeah, no, me too.
Why is stress always that roadblock for people, for your clients and everyone?
Yeah. Well, the thing is that we're more stressed now than we've ever been because of the amount of connectivity we have to what's going on in the world, what's going on in each other. I think about my grandparents who live in one of the islands in Cayman who has 2,000 people. My dad just got her a phone with Wi-Fi because I just had a baby and she can't see my little but such a simple life. And she's my grandma's 84, my grandpa's 86. There's a reason why they live that long and they're that healthy. They're not stressed. And I think really helping people see, everyone knows that we have a problem with stress, but really what's happening to your body when you're stressed, so there's so many hormones at play. Cortisol, we all know about cortisol. And it's good to have cortisol. We need cortisol. We have it right when we wake up in the morning, right? It keeps us going on alert. But too much cortisol can lead to way too much chronic health issues in your body. And I kind of try to explain people from our nervous system point of view. You have what we call your sympathetic part of your nervous system, where it's the fight or flight. And we all know that somebody's coming at me in the street, I always say a lion. If your lion comes at you, you better run. You better be stressed for a moment. But that's supposed to be acute. It's supposed to just be short term, because what happens then is your body, everything that's not necessary for survival shuts down. So you're not digesting well. It's only really you're getting a lot of adrenaline, a lot of cortisol, a lot of insulin to give you that energy, but everything else does not matter. You're not worried about reproduction then either, right? All those things. So when we're chronically like that, your body, your mind responds to mental and physical stress the same. It's oh, she's constantly stressed, so I'm going to mess up her digestion because that's not important. Oh, she's stressed, so I'm really not going to help her, honestly, be fertile, and all these different things. And so what people don't realize, it's not just like, oh, let's just not, let's deal with our stress. It's like, no, if you don't deal with your stress, your body's going to like give way. And the things that you need to do just to survive, or that you want to enjoy your life, you will not be able to do chronically stressed. And so even when it comes to weight loss, my key, my niche here, it's like, literally, if you are stressed, it's going to really keep away you're not going to be able to sustain the weight loss that you want, because your body's going to like try to hold on to everything. So that's kind of why I try to talk about stress and sleep in particular, because nutrition and exercise is something we all know we need to do. That's not new for most people, but stress and sleep, people don't recognize how that actually impacts their health goals long term.
100%. So many women I speak to, I work with a functional medicine doctor in her clinic doing the nutrition, and it's always that. I mean, they have all these things going on. Their life is crazy, and all these things are happening, and they're, under eating, overtraining, because they just like, I don't know what's happening. I keep putting on weight, or I've, gained 20, 30 pounds in the last few years, and I just can't, doesn't matter what I do. So they're trying to, so they're eating as little as possible, and they're working out all these, like 2 hours a day, and they just keep gaining weight. And I'm like, right, 'cause just adding to the stress. But they're not dealing with those things. And I think it's the culture right now is just so like, go, 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 go. It doesn't, I signed up for like the Ziva meditation course, because I'm a very busy, like, person. Yeah. I go all the time. So me too. I have to like, give this that slow down, and it's definitely, I think, a modern day plague. Like, stress.
Totally. Most of the preventable, anyone would say this right now, wet MD or anything, most of preventable diseases are like catalyzed by stress, high blood pressure, all that sort of stuff, So even like, before I was having my daughter, I'm like, try not to be stressed because it's just going to pump up your blood pressure. They're going to make you do all these things, so it's like, just stay calm, so yeah.
For real. I mean, I didn't know that back then when I had Jack, and I was such a psycho, and my health just like nosedived postpartum. And again, and you mentioned it, you said like the high insulin, like, right? Like, people don't realize it's not just the blood sugar, it's inflammatory. Insulin is inflammatory. So you get all these things going on, and it's, stress. Yeah. So what's an example, like what's one tool, I don't want to give away all your secrets, but if you would share with us, like a tool that you teach to manage stress.
Yeah, I love this one. It's actually, I think, when I was doing Whole30, I think they introduced this in one of their support emails. It's called, like, I call it the ERC Method, eliminate, reduce, cope. Basically, like, write down all of your stress, because often we view stress as something that's happening to us that we don't have control over. So write down all your stressors and really ask yourself, which ones can I eliminate, which ones can I reduce, and which ones can I cope with. So for example, I always say, like, if you are, really dreading, for me, when I recently moved back to the States, the driving here is really different than the Cayman Islands. There's only usually 2 lanes. The fastest is 50 miles per hour. And so coming here and taking my driver's license, I was like, I'm so scared. But the only way to get around that and eliminate that is for me to practice and take my test and drive. I can live in fear all I want and be stressed about it, but I actually just need to take the test and drive. And so, I also was worried about failing a test after having my driver's license for so many years. I'm like, what if I fail? But anyways, the only way to eliminate it was to do it. So then stress, like, how do I reduce? So say, for example, like, okay, I have a newborn, and that's just stressful. Like, they sleep when they want. You can try putting them on a sleep schedule. Some babies take that, some don't. Let's just be honest. But how I can reduce that rather than feeling like, oh man, I'm failing as a mom. My daughter hasn't slept 7 hours through the night. All these sort of things is literally start to shut down the voices that like the things I'm exposing myself to. So I had to stop reading What to Expect every day because I love it. It's so helpful. But if I read it every day, I'm just going to feel like I constantly have to do something and falling apart, So just I can reduce that stress. It's always going to still be there, right? But I'm going to reduce that stress by like just reducing what I expose myself to and reducing what I take in mentally. And then cope. How do I cope with just having a newborn where like the sleep is all up in the air? Literally, I take naps, or I like switch off with my husband or get help, you know. So it's just writing all that out versus like, I have a newborn, my life is a mess. It's like, no. I can reduce that. I can eliminate some and I can cope with it. It's going to be there, but how do I really manage it well? And so I think when you do that and you make that list, you start to see like, oh my gosh, I actually have control. Stress doesn't control me, which is what most of us think to be true.
That's an awesome. I like that. I haven't heard of that before.
Yeah.
It's very cool. So tell us what do you do like as a holistic health coach and an essential oils advocate? You know, we know you have the coaching group and all that. But how does it, what could do your one-on-one clients? What do they, expect from you? Or do you do mostly group calls or do you still do one-on-one? Like, what's your business breakdown like?
Yeah, I do a mixture of both. So, I mean, at the core of what I love to do, and I think where clients can get the most benefit is obviously one-on-one coaching. Is you get to just customize your, health or your weight loss experience where, maybe for you, you feel like your nutrition is down pat, but you're not losing weight and you're not going towards your goals. So then it's like, okay, we can start at stress and sleep. But maybe for some people there at the beginning, they ain't doing anything to take care of themselves. So they actually need to start at nutrition. It's the foundation, right? So I love one-on-one coaching. I have a 6-month program for that where women really have all access to me. We have coaching sessions each month. They have unlimited email or e-support and access to all my resources. But then mainly what I've been doing recently is a membership called the Sustainable Weight Loss Academy, where that has you basically get a group community experience. You have a monthly class or topic we're going through. You have a Facebook group, which is, to me, I love Facebook groups because that can just build such cool community accountability partners, live coaching sessions via Facebook Live. So that's kind of like say if you're just like, you do a lot of my free stuff, but then you're like, I kind of want some more support. The membership, the highest level of support is one-on-one. Now, from the oils point of view, it's kind of like because it's integrated, but it's not, because obviously oils can help supplement your health routine, but oils will never necessarily fix it. So that's why I try to do both. It's like, right, if you're stressed, I don't want to just give you lavender or serenity oil. We need to deal with your stress. But women enter in wanting to care for their bodies at different places. So that's why I try to offer, and I still offer both. And so, yeah, from an essential oils point of view, I'm an advocate for doTERRA. I just really have a heart to educate women on how to use them, more about what makes the oil work, and basically just how you can use them in your everyday life. You can use them so many places. And so I think when I first started, it was kind of like this woo-woo thing, like oils, everyone knows you can use them, aromatherapy, which is great, but you can use it for so much more. So I just really act more as an educator in that side. And yeah, women are customers, or maybe some women actually want to incorporate it into their business or to their life and make a little money to pay for their own oils because they're like breaking the bank, loving on the oils and the products. So I support women on the sharing and business side as well. But most of my ladies are customers that just love using the oils. So
what's your favorite oil?
There's so many. I mean, I think it's certain seasons, and that's what I love to point people out, is that actually you're going to take to certain smells and certain oils in certain seasons. So in this season, the massage blend called Aroma Touch is just one that I'm and I love diffusing it, not just putting on my body, because I think I'm in a season where I need more relaxing, calming down as I have a newborn, and that's a mixture of peppermint, basil, and all these marjoram, all these calming, earthy type oils that really just soothe you down. And every time I go for a massage, I literally take it. I'm like, can I bring in my own oil? Can you use this? So
yeah, that's awesome. We have them too. I got my husband a Spindrift because he was obsessed with LaCroix.
Yeah.
And I was like, we should just get a Spindrift to make our own. And so we use the essential oils the lime and lemon, and we make and flavor it. So much better, because that way we know where that flavoring is coming from.
Exactly.
And you get the vitamin C.
Right.
So,
exactly. And all the benefits. I mean, citruses are so cleansing and detoxifying. So that's what you get, that you won't get in the lemon LaCroix.
Right. Exactly. For sure. I love it so much. Awesome. So you have a summit coming up. It is a Healthy Eating and Happy Living Summit that you're hosting super soon. So tell us about it.
Yeah, so August 24th to August 30th, I have over 30 female health and wellness experts who are going to just be sharing their expertise in a particular area. So what I've noticed in my health journey, and even not just with weight loss, but as I studied, more about hormones or studied more about specific areas that, a lot of health and wellness professionals specialize in, I noticed that when they were giving advice, it all came kind of boiled down to 7 different areas. So nutrition. So I was following Lisa Hendricks and Jack for a while on just like she's Fertility Friday, has a lot about the fertility awareness method, how women can just track their periods and just know what's going on in their health. And when I was reading her book, I was like, okay, she's advocating for things and eating certain things nutrition wise. That's going to be a little bit different, but it's still in that area. And so I noticed that when we start to work on habits in our nutrition, our exercise, our stress management, our sleep, our digestion, our toxic load, and our mindset and habits, and of course other areas of our life, you start to just open yourself up to really just health for the long term. So this Healthy Eating, Happy Living Summit is really supposed to be help women to create habits in those 7 areas post-summer and during the pandemic. Because although the pandemic has been great for some people and their health, they've had more time to take care of themselves, it's actually done the opposite for a lot of people. Just now they have kids at home and they have to do work plus homeschool plus take care of the house. So for some women, it's wherever you've been, it's just, I just wanted to offer something post-summer that could really support people from all these amazing different experts who are going to talk about things such as intermittent fasting, going to talk about hormones in their menstrual cycle, going to talk about tips on stress management and sleep and toxic load. And so there's an array of topics. It's really, you're going to find something that really will support you where you're at.
That's awesome. Very exciting. For those listening, Laura, my co-host and sister, is going to be speaking at the summit as well.
Yeah, I can't wait for her talk. It's going to be so good.
Yeah, I'm excited too. And I love Lisa's book, The Fifth Vital Sign.
Yes.
I think that for women, one of the main things when people feel women to come in there just feel so disconnected from their bodies. I'm like, start tracking your cycle.
Yes.
Like today, start. Like,
yeah.
That's step 1 in being in tune, because you can do all these other things, but understanding how, if your energy's up or down, or cravings, or even if you're bloating, knowing if you're ovulating. Like I know, like it's like a switch.
Right.
Like I ovulate, and then I'm really hungry.
Yes. Yes.
And it's not that I lack willpower. It's just progesterone does that to me.
Yes. Yes. No, I think that. I mean, I love her work, and it's just because it really does show like we have not been educated on the thing that makes women who they are and the thing that brings life into this world. It's like we have actually been ripped of that. And I just love how she talks about, calling it out, like birth control literally was designed, and you're not actually having a period. You think you are. And it's just so upsetting, and so I just love her work of just really, it's like really like empowering women to see like, one, if something is wrong with your period, like there's something wrong in your body. I think in her book, she points out she had a thyroid issue and she didn't know until she started tracking periods. So that's why I love, the work that your sister does. It's because it's so important. It's so important.
And it's so connected with nutrition,
It is.
When Laura and I get together, because I'm so like food and nutrition and very like foundational approach, but it's interlaced, because blood sugar regulation for hormones and inflammation. Yes. And again, as a vital sign, because one of the things, I'm sure you run into this too, is you get people who they think they're really healthy, or like women who, I think maybe when you were, like you mentioned, when you were very young and you like lost a lot of weight and were restricting
I didn't have my period.
That's just what I was gonna say. I bet you didn't cycle.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
When people are like, wow, you look amazing, you're actually not healthy. And that happens with female bodybuilders. That happens with women at a very, very, very low body fat percentage. But what they don't realize is that not cycling is detrimental in so many ways. Even the progesterone levels that we need, which are help with bone density for later. Like you need to be ovulating every chance you get.
Right.
While you can.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And it's interesting because at the time, I think I went to 2 different doctors. I was like 14, 15. And one was like, let's just put you on a birth control. And I think I tried it for a little bit. And I was like, at a very young age, I just had this keen awareness. Like, I don't think that's right. Even though I was doing this to my body. But then I went to this other doctor who was like, we just need to change your diet. So we're going to make sure you add some healthy fats in, add some good protein in. If you're worried about meat, just eat some fish. And I just thought that was so interesting that he just basically the prescription was just like eat nutritiously and whole foods. sure enough, gained some weight, came back. So
Wow.
yeah, I just think like looking back on it now, I'm like, oh, that's what was happening, but I didn't know then. But yeah, it's just so important, that education around that.
That's amazing. It's amazing you found a doctor that said that to begin with.
It was a male doctor too. I was like, whoa.
Whoa.
I know. So good. So
like,
good.
Who are you?
But I must say, I think he was trained in Eastern medicine. I think that's why. Just calling it out. But
for sure. I think the best MDs are the ones who are open to other modalities than just the Western medicine. I really do.
Right, which Western medicine, love it. But it's just, it can't be the only thing, right? We have to look at the whole holistic approach, right?
Exactly, holistic, for sure.
Yes.
So people can sign up for the Healthy Eating and Happy Living Summit on your website?
Yeah, and I'll make sure to send you a link because I think Laura has she has an affiliate link, because people can also, I will just say, people can also purchase it, because like any other summit, this is my first time, this is my 4th summit, but usually after summit you only have access during the week. But I realized my watching summit patterns where I was going to pick 1 or 2 talks, but I don't have all week to just sit down and watch all of them. So I wanted people to have access to these great resources a lifetime. So Laura has her link. Laura.
Okay.
It's Laura. I can't pronounce it right. And yes, you can just link in there, or if people just are listening, they can go to madewell345.com/healthy-happy-summit. But make sure you click her link, because her link is going to definitely benefit her as well. So
awesome. Thank you. She's super excited about that. That's going to be amazing. I can't wait to tune in. We'll link everything in the show notes, including your website and the coaching, your Instagram, and all that jazz.
Great.
Before I let you go, I wanted to really quick, because we didn't really talk about it, but you also do life coaching.
Yes. Yeah. So I put that in. I mean, when I started my coaching journey, I started being business coach, life coach. I just like everything coach. And I actually have some long-term life coaching clients, because what I found is that a lot of women would come to me and say they wanted help with their health, which they did, and they do. But there was a lot of other areas in their life that really needed some support before they can even like look at, even really like honestly look at their plate or look at their exercise and all that stuff. And so I just developed some different different procedures, different things to really help people as a life coach as well. So I do have life coaching clients. That's not what I advertise right away, but people sometimes just come with me just to start working there as well.
Oh, wow. You're like women of all trades.
I know, it gets me into trouble sometimes. I just want to do all the things. I want to help women everywhere in all areas, but yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Well, thank you so much for being on the show.
Yes.
We love your insights, and I can't wait to share your website. I love also Made Well. I love that. I love that name. My books are, my cookbook is Made Whole, and then my second one is Made Whole, Made Simple. So I love it. Yeah. Maybe, I love all the made and whole, I don't know, all those words. They're my favorite words.
Yes, I get it. Yeah, me too.
So good. Well, thank you so much, Brianna. It was a pleasure having you on.
Thank you so much.
Take care.